care of that Gaslight, you are officially locked in. Enjoy the show.
Hello everyone, I'd like to welcome you to Terror by Gaslight by Tim Kelly. And just remind you to turn off all cell phones and pagers. Other than that, just enjoy the show.
Who is it?
It's Opal, sir.
Make him in, Opal. What is it?
It's Dr. Withers, sir. He has a young gentleman with him. Said you've been expecting them?
You may send them in. No need to lock the door, Opal. The frontier is once again open. Visitors may cross.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you all. Cyrus, there you are.
Where else would I be?
William, I want you to meet a genius. There's few and far in between here in Philadelphia. Norton, this is the young man I told you about, Mr. William Dover.
It's a great honor for me, sir.
Indeed.
His father and I were good friends back in Boston.
You wrote as much?
I wouldn't recommend William unless I was certain of his abilities.
There are other schools of anatomy. Why mine?
Don't terrorize the boy, Cyrus. Stand your ground, kid.
Your answer?
Well, sir,
Well, sir, what? Speak up, speak up.
there's only 2 surgeons in Boston who are worth a damn.
Only 2.
Kearney and Phelps.
Former students of mine.
Exactly.
What of Dr. Benjamin's school?
Dr. Benjamin's a quack.
You have a certain degree of perception, I see. If you think Dr. Benjamin is a quack, what of Dr. Luton?
I just like sounding critical, sir.
It's a prerogative of youth.
I attended a few lectures and dissections. Might as well have toured a slaughterhouse. He had all the finesse of a market butcher. He's a scalpel like a meat cleaver.
He's on in years, is he not?
80 at least. He squints, his hands shake.
Traits desirable in lawyers. They give a sense of confidence in the client. In surgeons, however, patients always prefer a steady hand.
Can't imagine why.
Still, Dr. Luton is well thought of at Harvard.
Harvard's not the world, sir.
I see why he didn't get along with the faculty.
I felt it best to write everything. No deception. Cyrus knows the junior teachers didn't always see eye to eye.
Yes, I seem to recall the word Dr. Withers scribbled was rebellious.
Scribble? I'm noted for my penmanship.
The same reason every other doctor is noted for his penmanship. It's practically indecipherable.
I'm afraid I wasn't the ideal pupil at Harvard.
How so?
New ideas and prerogative questions were equated with rebellion.
That's usually the case.
My teachers were fossils, though. Some of them still use them.
Sounds a bit like you, Cyrus.
Doesn't sound anything like me.
Oh. Well, when you were younger, though, discretion was never one of your virtues.
You did graduate.
But my interest is in surgery, and before I can become a qualified surgeon,
You must learn something of anatomy. That's a simple fact most medical schools just don't seem to understand.
One day, the universities will adopt biology. Mark my words.
Yes, but they're slow at it. Dangerously slow.
All in good time.
You go to Europe and study there, there's a school of anatomy in every established university.
could never afford that, Dr. Norton.
Yes, I seem to recall Withers also wrote something about your financial situation. Somewhat limited?
I wrote the facts.
I have some money. I should be able to pay partial tuition.
Partial tuition or full tuition, what does it matter? I'm only interested in the brilliant students.
I can be brilliant when circumstances demand.
The demands of my school are always the same. Brilliance by desk, brilliance by textbook, and of course, brilliance in the dissecting room.
I've read your major textbooks, sir. They're brilliant.
That's a clever boy. Hit him with his vanity. No man can resist that. Certainly not Cyrus Norton.
Dr. Withers must have informed you that my work takes up most of my time. And with the few spare hours I have left, I put directly towards my anatomical museum.
Cyrus has bottled up and labeled every portion of the human anatomy, the normal and the abnormal.
Not quite. When the museum is finished, I intend to go directly to the College of Philadelphia.
What a wonderful museum at that. Future doctors and surgeons will owe you a great debt.
He also said from time to time you take exceptional students.
You, Dr. Dover, consider yourself an exceptional student?
Well, I'd like to be more than a good surgeon, sir. I wish to be numbered with the best.
You could go to New York and study there.
Outside of Edinburgh, there are no finer schools than the ones found in Philadelphia, 14 in all.
15. Dr. Monroe recently opened up shop. Also a former student of mine.
15 then, sir. Philadelphia is the medical capital of America.
You say that as if you expect me to blow a beagle or salute. The only reason I do take exceptional students from time to time is because the youth keeps me alert. One can become lost among scholarly papers and pickling jars.
Will you take on William or not?
I will demand much of you.
You'll get it, sir.
Very well, we will start in the morning. There will be one other. Welcome to Dr. Norton's School of Anatomy.
Splendid. Glad that's settled.
We're leaving now, Father.
Oh, Marilyn, come here. There's someone I'd like you to meet. This is Mr. Dover, Lady Boston.
Miss Norton.
My sister Constance.
Ma'am.
Delighted to meet you, Mr. Dover.
He's a doctor, Marilyn. Just like the other gentlemen in this room.
I recently received my diploma.
From Harvard.
It's been years since I've been to Cambridge or Boston. You must tell me all the gossip, Dr. Dover.
I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you. Gossip isn't one of my interests.
How sad. You must have given the wrong impression. I don't favor malicious gossip, mind you. That's sinful. But non-malicious gossip can be amusing, and it doesn't hurt anybody, does it?
Constance, don't touch that lamp!
Must you shout, Cyrus?
You know I don't like you disturbing things in my room.
The room is so dim.
Please respect my wishes. Just leave my lamp alone.
Listen to him, Charles. Anyone would think I'd broken his precious lamp.
You'll soon learn the rules of this sanctum, Dr. Dover. This is my father's world. That is the frontier.
This is the only place where Cyrus feels comfortable. In the sitting room, he's fidgety as a mouse in a cat's paw. Whenever guests are in for dinner, he stares at them as if they were candidates for a specimen jar. Other men admire a lady's neck, but all Cyrus sees is skin and bone. He has not one romantic instinct. Alas.
My sister sees the heart as the abode of Cupid. I, on the other hand, know that it's a contracting muscle that acts as a force pump to circulate blood throughout the body.
Must agree with your brother.
Shame on you, Charles. The heart? A force pump? Men, you doctors are the worst. What's the use in reading a love story from Paris if the only effect it will have is on a force pump?
Doctors have one view of the human condition and non-doctors have another.
Marilyn, you are my brother's daughter. There's no mistake about that. If I were to ask you what beats beneath your bosom, would you surely reply, a force pump?
Hey. I have romantic instincts.
I'm relieved to hear it, Charles.
Medicine suffered no loss when Constance decided to take up French novels and gossip.
I admit I feel foolish in the presence of brilliant men, but you aren't fair, Cyrus. I've always been appreciative of your work. After all, how many females of social standing would tolerate living in a house devoted to perversity? Indeed, how many females could?
Perversity?
That place.
She means the dissecting room.
Oh, how I hate that word, dissecting. Couldn't you doctors think of something less offensive? Something more genteel? Something that sounds nicer? Imagine describing the rooms of this house to a stranger. This is the sitting room, this is the sewing room, this is the parlor, and that is the dissecting room. It's depressing.
My sister believes in curing illnesses with a bottle of smelling salts.
My brother enjoys teasing me. He gives me little credit for stamina. It takes a special kind of woman to tolerate the things that go on in this place.
Things, Miss Norton.
Don't pay her any attention. Not once is she even behind that curtain.
I should hope not. When you were a boy, you were always experimenting on frogs. That was bad enough. No, Cyrus. As Marilyn says, this is your world. I leave it to you.
If only you could remember that from time to time.
When have I ever forgotten?
My lamp?
Do forget about the lamp. I'm delighted you're to be a student here, Dr. Dover.
I owe a great deal to Dr. Withers.
I knew the family.
So, where are you ladies off to this evening?
You know perfectly well.
Marilyn is dragging me off to some medical lecture. Her idea of a romantic instinct, I suppose. Medical lectures do not attract a fashionable crowd. Still, one must keep up.
You aren't by any chance speaking the lecture at the Lyceum, are you?
Yes.
Oh, Dr. Withers and I plan on stopping in later.
Wonderful. We'll see you there. The evening won't be a total loss.
Wait. Why don't you escort the ladies? We'll catch up with you later.
I'd love to, if you don't object.
Marilyn doesn't object, do you, dear? There you see.
We'd welcome your company. Are you sure you wouldn't like to come along, Father?
Well,
There's no point in asking Cyrus. The only lectures he's interested in are his own.
my sister has no illusions about me.
We mustn't be late. Arriving late is so rude. I'm certain if you thought about it, remember something scandalous.
I hope Aunt Constance won't talk him to death. We'll see you at the lecture,
See ya.
Dr. Withers.
Join me?
No.
So, what'd you think of William?
He seemed to find his courage in his tongue fast enough.
He was terrified of meeting you.
I didn't get that impression.
He realized that one had to stand up to the famous Dr. Cyrus Norton or lose the game. Though it must give you considerable pleasure watching young doctors and scientists quiver and shake in fear. Feeling of power, huh?
You didn't stick around long enough to hear our teacher-pupil discussion. You were too busy fortifying yourself. Already on your second glass.
We We must have more bodies.
You know that's impossible.
I know, with your help, it's impossible.
We must be careful. The cry of grave robbery is heard throughout the streets of Philadelphia.
Oh, it's all that wretched business in Scotland. That Dr. Knox and his miserable pair, broken hair, robbing graves, murdering people, selling the bodies. Newspapers are having a field day.
We both know the situation we face here is the same. Legislation gives us no legal protections or provisions against the supplying of bodies.
You're always able to help other anatomy schools.
Whenever I could.
So how do we teach dissection in human anatomy without human bodies?
We can't. That's hardly newsworthy. Other surgeons never come to me directly, do they? No, they just merely drop a hint with my good friend Withers here, and sooner or later it pops up as something of importance.
But you fear nothing, Cyrus.
I fear ignorance, I fear stupidity, I fear waste, and above all, I fear incompetent surgeons.
They fear the prosecution of authorities. One finding himself dissecting a body, especially one from public gals, will find himself locked up and out of the medical profession.
You've made the point known. Good day.
Well, there's no need to get testy about it.
I felt the need. Most surgeons wish so much to carry out with their work, yet they do little to support it. They'd rather bumble around textbook and chart than go out and be adventurous and try to find a way to supply their students with subjects.
Well, you're hard on them. Not everyone's made to be a famous Dr. Cyrus Dorn. They're not made for it.
I'm sorry. You've made the request known. I'll do the best I can.
Remember this, Cyrus. The textbook they use is yours. They admire you, they respect you, and I expect that they'd be afraid of you. They can't do without you.
You'll be late for your lecture.
Right. Though I am confident that you'll find that William Dover's an exceptional young man.
I already have.
Good day, Doctor.
Good day.
Scrubs, frontier shut and all clear.
Get on with it.
Only one more.
The door?
Door, yes, sir, I'll get it, doctor.
No one saw you?
Leonard Scrubs knows his job.
You'll be pleased, doctor, with what we brought.
Is it fresh? I'm not going to pay for rot.
Listen to the good doctor, as if we'd pass off spoiled fish. When have we ever tried to fool you, sir?
More than once.
He was in his grave only yesterday morning. Barely had time to get used to the feel of his coffin.
It ain't easy getting suitable subjects.
I told you before, I'm not interested in your problems. What is that?
Only a trinket, sir.
I told you about stealing. I won't allow it.
She didn't steal it from the dead man, sir. Plucked it from a drunken gent down by the river. Didn't you, Jen Hester?
That's right. Down by the river.
$10.
10?
Only 10?
He's fresh, I tell you.
Very well. 12.
Could you make it 12 and 50 cents? Times is hard.
12.
We might get more from one of the other schools.
Then I suggest you go to one of those other schools, although you may run the risk of them calling the police.
12 it is, sir. Pleasure doing business with you.
In here.
Wonderful to see you again, Dr. Daniels. What have you been up to?
Breaking ladies' hearts, naturally.
Doctors shouldn't break ladies' hearts.
Oh, no?
They're supposed to mend broken ones.
Is that a fact?
You're making fun of me.
I only tease girls I admire.
Mustn't lie.
Mustn't doubt my word.
I don't mind if you tease me. I can take a joke.
Ah, few women can. It'll be a fortunate lad who marries you, Opal.
Have you set up practice yet?
Not yet, I'm afraid.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So is my father. All in good time.
Dr. Norton was surprised when I said you wanted to see him.
I bet.
Miss Norton will be sorry she's missed you. You were one of her favorites.
Oh, I had no idea Marilyn felt so kindly toward me.
Not Miss Marilyn, her aunt.
Ah, Constance. It's the motherly instinct. What is this power I have with a female creature? Do you think it's because I'm devilishly handsome? Maybe it's because I'm young in age. Or perhaps it's because there's a doctor in front of my name. That does seem to work magic. Confess, Opal, you're in love with me.
Oh.
I see you've contracted the giggling disease.
You'll make me blush.
You look lovely when you blush.
Miss Norton says you amused her.
And her brother? No need to answer. I know what he thinks of me.
He can be hard on people. He thinks the whole world should be as serious as himself.
If only we could pickle the expression on his face, put it in a jar, label it sour, and exhibit it in his anatomical museum. Like that, did you? One day I'll take you to the variety theater. You'll like it even better there.
I've never been.
Well, it's time you go. I'll buy you flowers.
Flowers?
And maybe even dinner.
Nobody's ever bought me flowers before. Or dinner.
And you, such a winsome thing?
Think so?
I do.
Dr. Norton says I'm plain. So they should accept the fact.
He's a cold clam. What do clams know?
I can't stand your talking. He's finishing his breakfast.
Go ahead. I'm perfectly comfortable.
I didn't know you were working this morning.
I had to wash everything down. Dr. Norton likes his dissecting room clean as a ship's deck. One speck of dirt and all here is Bella.
New orderly?
Leonard Scrubs. Does odds and ends for the doctor. All dust and all clean. But not in there.
What are you afraid of, Opal? That won't hurt you. It's the living can bite.
I hope nobody's a stranger, Dr. Daniels. The place isn't the same since you left.
I'll see what I can do.
Pardon me, sir. I didn't know he was a doctor. Thought maybe he was a medical student. They're in all the time.
I was a medical student here.
Well, I'm up the back stairs into the kitchen. The doctor likes me to do my work, but he likes me to keep out of sight.
He pay you well?
For this sort of work, pennies, but I get breakfast.
That's better than some in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I'm beholden to the doctor. He's such a good man.
Takians Caliquius Graviastrius. Rotten luck as usual. What are you doing here?
Is that all you can say to me?
Have you been following me?
Why not? I caught sight of you in the street.
So you sneak through the alley and play the peeping Tom? I thought I told you we're through.
I want to talk with you.
This is not the time. Now get out.
No.
What?
No, I said.
Don't take that tone with me.
You're cold now, aren't you, Edward Daniels? You've got no further use for me, so I'm just to forget your soft words.
I don't like women that make trouble.
Trouble and fine gentlemen don't go together, is that it? You think I've forgotten what you've promised me? You're wrong.
What promise?
As if you didn't know. Don't play barnyard fox with me. Marriage. That's what you promised me.
Marriage.
Yes.
I may have my moods, but I'm not weak in the head.
Oh, you'll keep your promise.
Oh?
Otherwise, I'll go to your father.
He's not going to listen to anything you have to say.
He will when he finds out he's going to be a grandfather.
You wanted to speak with me, Edward?
Yes, I did, sir.
Who is this young woman?
Oh, no one. She's just a friend. She's just going.
I've got a name. My name's Kitty. I'm barmaid at the Beef and Rye.
She's going. We'll talk later.
I mean what I say, Edward.
Later.
It appears you abandoned the gambling rooms and taverns in the city. Water seeks its own level.
She's a friend, nothing more.
Please entertain your friends in your own quarters. This is both my dwelling house as well as my school.
She followed me here. She fancies me. What can I do? I saw her through the window. I didn't let her in.
What is it that you want?
Oh. That is...
My time is valuable. I don't wish to waste it by listening to you stammer.
In that case, I'll be direct.
Please be.
I must have your recommendation.
Must?
Without it, I'll never be entered into the books as a qualified surgeon.
You're not a qualified surgeon.
But I am a qualified doctor.
You are proof of one thing, Edward, that the qualifications for a diploma in most medical schools are shatty and inept.
I must protest.
Your father was my late wife's cousin. On that basis and on his insistence, I took you on as a student. You never had any interest in being a surgeon.
I did as good as some.
Good as some is not good enough for me. I suggest you take your endorsements to another surgeon.
But my father wants your approval. Without it, I'm afraid he'll... I'm afraid he'll...
Back to the stammering again, I see. Without it, what?
I'm afraid he'll disinherit.
It's no concern of mine.
And let me come back and study with you.
For what purpose? The study of surgery interests you for only one reason. Stay in good graces of your father. When you were my student, you were frequently tardy. Your work in dissection was pathetic. And your attitude, questionable at best.
You misjudge, sir. I can assure you I've changed. I have matured, if you will.
In only a few months? A phenomenon. No need turning up your capacity for cleverness on me. I know you for who you are. A wastrel, a gambler, a seeker of pleasure. There's one thing I cannot abide, and that's a dilettante surgeon. I'd rather have Lucifer himself sitting in my classroom.
Opal said you were here, Edward.
How lovely to see you again, Marilyn.
Aunt Constance will be back shortly. She'll never forgive you if you leave without paying your respects.
How is Aunt Constance?
Missing the tidbits of gossip you used to supply?
Maybe that's your true calling, Edward. The drawing room fop.
Father?
Do give my regards to your aunt.
Yes, of course.
Morning.
Edward, this is Dr. Dover, a new student. William, Dr. Daniels.
Both of us ready and eager for class?
I'm afraid I've been expelled.
Will you excuse us, Edward?
Certainly. Dr. Dover, Marilyn?
Father, was that really necessary?
I suggest we begin today's lesson by contrasting the skeleton of man to the skeleton of bird. Both are consisted of similar elements and arranged in the same way. What are you waiting for, Dr. Dover?
You said yesterday there's going to be another student.
Yes?
I assume that to be Dr. Daniels.
Your assumption was an error.
I'm the other student, William.
Marilyn is Dr. Nall with diploma. I have been her teacher.
Sure, she's dedicated, sir, but
But it's her gender that troubles you?
never been in the presence of a female doctor.
What can one expect from Harvard? Marilyn is not licensed to practice a course, medicine being the exclusive domain to the male animal. Her qualifications can only disturb. However, I predict in the future, female doctors will be tolerated. Now please, have a seat. How is your Latin?
Good enough to translate that.
Please do.
Let conversation stop, let laughter cease. This is the place where death delight in helping the living.
Excellent. The ancients viewed the body with superstitious awe. They thought of the corpse as a mansion haunted by spirits and ghosts. I suppose our legislators share that opinion. I will ask you both to memorize this dictum. In this academy, we are concerned with critical analysis. Through dissection, we seek an understanding of life.
You have no right! How dare you! Come back here! Cyrus!
What on earth?
What is this?
I noticed you stepped into the hallway from the street, and this woman was at the door demanding to see you. She forced her way by me.
Who are you?
You've got him, haven't you?
I'll get the police.
No, wait.
You've taken him, dug him up in the night.
Dug him up. What does she mean, Cyrus?
I'll tell you what I mean. Grave robbery.
Grave robbery.
It's not in the right sense.
A sedative will calm you.
No. 2 days ago we buried him. My husband, Mr. Colt. Dear Mr. Colt. Yesterday he was gone. Only the coffin, half buried in the ground. Ghouls, grave robbers, night crawlers. I went with flowers.
Why are you here? Go to the police.
What can they do? Buried him in his fine Sunday suit with the leather trim and the pearl buttons. I vowed I would visit his grave every day. What can I visit now? The empty ground?
My sister asked you a question. Why are you here in my workplace?
You think I don't know? So smug,
No.
so superior.
Know what?
You get the bodies and you use them for your wickedness.
I suggest the accusations you make to the proper authorities.
What have you done with it?
I'll see you to the door.
I will see you damned.
Marilyn!
See you in hell.
Well, I suggest we continue on with our lesson.
Sir,
She's still out there.
Dr. Dover, please recite the dictum.
in this academy, we're concerned with
Critical analysis.
critical analysis. Through dissection, we
We seek
an understanding
an understanding of life.
of life.
Therefore, sir, I once again write, in hopes of persuading you to lend your support to legislation that will permit honorable doctors and surgeons to carry out the tasks.
Scrubs.
Where the devil have you been?
It's raining out, Doctor. Stinking night, ain't it?
I'm not interested in the weather.
That's because you don't have to be out, is it? It's enough to give a man the pneumonia.
Very well, one glass.
You are a gentleman.
Do you have delivery?
That ain't going to be easy, sir.
Why not?
For one thing, it's raining.
It's never stopped you before.
I can't find Jen Hester.
Search the gutters.
She does like the bottle. They're watching the graveyards.
Who?
Police, maybe.
What do you mean, maybe?
There's talk. People don't like all these grave robberies.
There's always talk.
Me and Jen Hester ain't the only ones doing it. There ain't enough bodies to go around.
See. I suggest you go further out in the country. The dead, they have too many relatives in Philadelphia.
Maybe in a week or so.
A week?
Be easier then. I don't want any trouble with the police, neither do you. We're all in the same kettle.
That's for your insolence. You and me have nothing in common, Scrubs. You're a churchyard worm. Your struggle each day is to stay alive. Without the money I give you, you'd starve like any other derelict on the waterfront. Know your place.
I spoke out of turn, sir. I'm sorry. It won't happen again.
Go on, get out of here. I'll see you in the morning. Oh, and Scrubs,
Sir,
don't you get any peculiar notion about going to the police?
the less I see of the law, the happier I am.
What is it, Constance?
I'm so distressed, Cyrus. That woman today.
You've seen hysterics before.
It's not only that woman, Cyrus. It's this house. You know I've never been comfortable here. Why won't you let me take a small place of my own?
You're being absurd.
I saw a lovely house on Baltimore Street.
And I should be the expense of 2 households?
It's not as if you were a poor man.
Constance, I need someone to run this house.
Maybe if you raised your daughter properly, she could run the house.
Marilyn is cut out for better things.
You don't enjoy the dinners and gatherings I arrange. You find my friends frivolous. You are barely civil to your guests.
I should try to do better.
If only that place weren't a part of this house. Suppose I do sound selfish. You've been so good to me.
No, Constance, I should thank you. My dear wife died, all I had was Marilyn and my work. Managing such a large house would have been quite beyond me.
In all truth, I must say I don't approve of Marilyn's views. I just can't bring myself to tell people what she's up to now. Studying that subject.
Anatomy.
It's not decent for a woman. Marilyn and Dr. Dover seem to like each other. He's taken her to dinner.
I know she told me. He doesn't have much, so she'll direct him to an inexpensive restaurant.
Perhaps Dr. Dover would like to select the restaurant himself. That is the usual custom. Marilyn is so independent.
Sensible is the word.
A young woman can be too sensible. Men don't like sensible women.
For God's sakes, Constance, you know nothing about men.
I spoke with Edward Daniels this afternoon. He's so unhappy.
Wasted no time getting to you, did he?
Cyrus is ashamed of himself. He realizes he didn't appreciate the advantage of studying with you.
I don't want to discuss this matter.
If only you could give the boy another chance. He's so spirited. He wants so much to be a surgeon.
He wants what being a surgeon will bring him. It's nothing that'll benefit human suffering.
I can see you're in one of your difficult moods.
Here's your tray, Dr. Norton. Shall I put it on your desk?
A tray? I didn't ask for one.
I asked Opal to fix you something. You haven't eaten all day.
And that's because I'm not hungry.
I'll take the tray, Opal.
Will there be anything else, Miss Constance?
No, you may go to bed.
Good night, Doctor.
I suppose you're going to be up all night?
I don't plan to.
In case you do, you may get hungry.
You're a good woman, Constance. I guess sometimes I don't fully understand. You do right to scold.
I wish you'd reconsider.
The subject of Edward Daniels is closed.
I mean Marilyn. She'll frighten men if they think she's more intelligent than they are.
Good night, Constance. Sleep well.
Most young women her age are already married.
I see your solution in any women's problem is marriage.
I could have married on a number of occasions.
There's still time?
I may surprise you yet.
No doubt. Where was I? Ah, yes. Permit honorable doctors and surgeons to carry out the tasks for which they are best qualified, without fear of persecution or misunderstanding.
The subject of Edward Daniels is closed.
How long have you been in there?
Oh, long enough to hear your talk with Scrubs. Oh, it's okay. What do I care about your dark secret? Everyone in Philadelphia knows that bodies are fresh from the grave.
We'll all be changed.
And well, if you have anything to say about it, you're a respected man, a famous doctor, an admired teacher. But not even the governor could save you if people knew that you were the one that set the ghouls in Philadelphia. Remember a few years ago, the mob sacked another school of anatomy when they found out the truth.
Times change.
Mobs don't! That doctor was hounded from the city. What a loss if you couldn't continue your work, your anatomical museum.
What is it that you want?
Oh, you'll think of something. I think I'm gonna like the title. Surgeon. I'll stay out of your hair. All you have to do is write out the recommendation of my father, praising my skills, and we'll be rid of one another.
One more butcher masquerading as a surgeon.
You'll do what I say.
If I don't,
the police!
Scrubs will tell them nothing. You don't have proof of anything.
Lovely inscription for Mrs. Culp to her dear departed husband.
Where'd you get that?
Scrub's partner, Gin Hester. One drink and you can't shut the crone up. She knew what I was after. I had to part with a $10 gold piece. I could hang you with this watch.
If I write that letter of recommendation, I write to your father.
Didn't you hear me? We'll be rid of one another.
I like that.
And do something about it.
I shall. You weren't good for much in life, Edward. In death, you'll serve some purpose.
We'll now be having a mandatory 10-minute intermission in student union, so if you'd all please follow me. Well, we hope you all enjoyed intermission, and now on to Act 2.
You swine!
Is that any way to talk when I only want to be friendly?
I'd sooner be friends with an 8.
Shouldn't talk to me that way. Doesn't do to get on the bad side of Leonard Scrubs.
I'll talk to you any way I choose.
I only wanted to hand you a laugh.
Your hands are your own, and I'll have nothing to do with them.
High and mighty for a servant, ain't you?
Be grateful unto the doctor what you've done. I don't think he'd approve.
You think I'm afraid of him? Go ahead and tell him. He's down in the cellar working on his precious museum.
You wish to see me, Opal?
Oh, sir. I was just having a bit of fun with Opal, sir. Teasing her. You know, boys will be boys. Scrubs here didn't mean no harm.
Bit of fun, is that what you call it?
You may go, Opal.
You want me to clean up?
I'll believe you surely. You can clean then.
Whatever you say, doctor.
Snippy cat, ain't she? I have to have a laugh every now and then, don't I?
Oh?
It ain't easy working on things you have under the gaslight. Makes a man tense.
What things?
On the dissecting table,
Didn't know you were such a sensitive soul.
I am, when I feel the need.
Have you found her?
Who, Jen Hester?
Yes, Gin Hester.
I heard the neighbors say she was back on the streets.
Probably drank up all the money at Regina supplied, I suppose.
Where's the good doctor, sir?
Oh, here and there. It's really none of your concern.
No, sir.
I want you to find Gin Hester.
Then what?
Wring her neck if you choose.
Oh, doctor. You have a sense of humor. Grim, but it's human.
She'd get us in trouble with her wagging tongue.
More than likely, she's sitting down at the corner tavern.
Then I suggest you move quickly. I want to see her. She must be brought to understand.
Cyrus is the police.
But then what?
How should I know? It's only one man. The detective. He told me his name. Harrison.
No need to be jittery. Probably just some routine matter.
What will people think? Suppose someone saw him come into the house.
People will think what they want. They usually do. Send him down.
Wouldn't it be better to talk in the parlor? No one can see in.
Constance?
Right, right. This is Detective Harrison, Cyrus.
Sorry to disturb you, Doctor. Hoping to take away from anything too important.
Everything I do is important.
Cyrus for manners.
It's a pleasure for me meeting you, Dr. Norton. Over there.
I'm sorry. I work with resins and formaldehydes all day. If I shake, you'll smell like a charnel house.
Wonderful.
So, what can I do for you, detective?
I admit this is awkward, but it must be done.
You have the advantage.
I'm curious.
Naturally. You're a policeman.
What is in that bottle?
Not a bottle, detective. A specimen jar. Pickled gallstones.
Pickled gallstones. What will they think of next?
I have almost every portion of the human anatomy bottled, labeled, and cataloged. The healthy and the diseased. The normal and the misshapen.
Why?
I beg your pardon?
Why would anyone want a collection like that?
It's not a collection, detective. It's a museum.
Museum?
An anatomical museum.
When I go to a museum, I expect to see lovely paintings.
You won't find another one like it outside of Edinburgh University.
So it's for the students. Medical students, that is.
Textbooks generally suggest. Skeletons can merely hint. Anatomical charts are just merely painted pieces of medical paper. For my museum, a student can go directly where he is studying, pick it up, and research it. Hundreds and hundreds of jars.
All very interesting, Dr. Norton.
When the museum is finished, I intend to go directly to the College of Philadelphia.
The college will think of it as Christmas come early.
Won't you sit down, detective?
No, I think better on my feet.
Perhaps I should leave you gentlemen alone.
If you do, you may not find out why the detective is here in my workplace. You spoke of something being odd.
Yes, I met Mrs. Colt.
Awful woman.
Constance, please. Surely you can see she's not in her right senses.
She admits to being upset, with good cause.
To accuse my brother being any part of such a horrible
Oh, she's
thing.
very generous in her accusations, Miss Norton.
What's that supposed to mean?
She's been to each and every other surgeon's house making the same accusations, accusing them of dealing in bodies stolen from the grave.
Poor demented soul.
You are faced with a crime. One of many. We must investigate her charges. A body has been stolen. Where, oh where could it be?
Where, oh where?
Grave robbery.
Funny thing about grave robbery in Philadelphia,
How could something so shocking be funny?
it's seasonal. We have an outbreak every year. Around the same time, the anatomy schools open the door for business. Isn't that right, Dr. Norton?
You're being too cautious, detective. You and me both know there isn't a surgeon with a good name that hasn't dealt with a nightcrawler one time or another.
I'll make no comment to that, except that if I catch a surgeon dealing with a nightcrawler, not only will I put the surgeon behind bars, but the nightcrawler's neck in a noose.
Perhaps the Philadelphia Police Department can hang more criminals. That'd solve the problem.
Sorry.
Well, we're hoping the governor will soon sign the anatomy bill.
If he does, you surgeons can legally have any unclaimed body for your, work. Until then, I'm afraid not.
We're ready, Father.
It's good to hear you laugh, Marilyn.
A new bonnet on. William helped me select it. Do you approve?
I do. Lovely. I have one similar. You must have seen it. I wear it to church sometimes. Dark green bow with red piping.
I'm sorry. I hope we haven't intruded.
This is Mr. Harrison.
Detective Harrison. He's with the police.
Police? What seems to be the problem?
Mrs. Colt.
You're not taking her charge against my father seriously, are you?
Somebody has stolen her husband. The body, that is.
This is Dr. Dover.
Doctor.
You'd be interested in what the detective was saying. It appears when anatomy schools open up their doors for the season, nightcrawlers are busy in the graveyards.
Most surgeons obey the law. Few might be unscrupulous enough to deal with body snatchers. That's no reason to indict an entire profession.
I'm not.
It's the law that must be changed.
Bravo, William.
Well, we're all agreed on that now, aren't we? So you can offer me no help.
I can tell you nothing.
Until Miss Colt forced her way in here, we had never seen the woman.
And the few bodies that I have dissected on this premises come straight from the gallows.
Well, I'll tell you, gentlemen, what I've told everyone else. You report any attempt by anyone to sell a cadaver.
I see the Philadelphia Police Department believes in the leech and London method. Purge, blister, and bleed. That's for us medical schools. We're just supposed to stay in the dark.
Just doing my job, sir. I'll be on my way out.
I'll show you out.
No need.
Pity there's no room for stupidity.
Enough of this rubbish. William, you've been a marvelous influence on my niece. An adorable hat. Where are you off to?
Father has something planned.
Field trip.
Yes, but where?
Municipal morgue.
Oh.
Hadn't we better get started?
You're going to wear that delicious bonnet to the municipal morgue? It will be wasted. No one in that place will notice.
The dead can't smell the flowers in the graveyard, but we still plant them. I got this bonnet because William liked it so much, not to impress the morgue.
William, there's some crates in the hallway. Check the labels and put the smaller ones in the carriage.
Of course.
I have some business to attend to in my museum. I'll be with you shortly.
Yes, sir.
Perhaps you're right, Aunt Constance. I think I will wear another bonnet. I'll save this for a more suitable occasion.
Good girl. Sensible, but not too sensible. I'm blessed the day you came to this house, William. You've been a tonic for Marilyn. I've never seen her take such an interest in any young man before. So serious, so dedicated, so like her father, it's a shame. You must take that bonnet to a fine restaurant, on a stroll, to the theater, anywhere but the municipal morgue. Now, don't think me presumptuous, but I know your funds are limited. If you're going to entertain Marilyn, you must do it as a gentleman. I want Marilyn to enjoy life. Let me help with the expenses. No one need know. It can be our little secret. Conspirators for a good cause.
That's kind of you, but my funds, although small, aren't that small.
You're not angry with me.
No.
I suppose I do sound like a matchmaker. You do like her.
Oh, very much.
That's good news. It's important for a young woman to make a sound marriage. You see, I know what it is to be a woman alone. I've always lived off the courtesy of relatives. Cyrus has given me some status. You never knew his wife naturally. She worshipped him. She was his second love. No woman, not even his wife, can compete with medicine. That's why Marilyn would make such a fine wife for a doctor. She'd understand his temperament. I do sound obvious. You must forgive me.
Miss Norton, every girl should have an aunt like you.
William! How you getting along?
So far, so good.
Good.
He's doing marvelous, Charles. Just ask Marilyn. She'll tell you.
You know, I don't have a lot of time to talk. Stop by in the quick. Is Dr. Norton around?
He's down there.
Down where?
In his museum, in the cellar with the other moles.
You'll have to excuse me. Dr. Norton has a field trip planned for us today.
Oh, right. Run along. It won't keep you but a second.
Withers, we should have dinner one evening.
Good idea. Well, William seems in good spirits.
What is done for Marilyn is a miracle. I knew the right man would come along. It's just a matter of time. Cyrus! Cyrus!
Marilyn is a most unusual young woman.
No need to remind me.
She once told me she disapproves of doctors with beards and mustaches. Says the hair on their faces makes them a sanitary menace.
You only prove my point. William has come at the right time. Otherwise, my niece would be on the road to loneliness and ridicule. Imagine, dreaming of becoming a doctor. Worse, a surgeon.
You must keep up with the times, Constance. In some quarters, they talk openly about a medical profession for women.
Scandalous. Imagine public outrage, male disapproval. I tell you, William and Marilyn are ideally suited to one another.
Perhaps.
Oh, Withers, just a minute more, you didn't miss me.
So I heard something about a field trip?
I'll leave you gentlemen to your conversation.
Please close the door on your way out, Constance.
No, not for me.
What is it? There's a rain cloud sitting on your face.
I waited until he left.
William?
Not William. Harrison.
What do you know of him?
Well, he's a bloodhound. Once he sinks his teeth, he doesn't let go.
I got the impression he was rather reasonable. Doesn't know much about surgeons and our methods.
Well, he's warned each surgeon that the police will no longer blink. The police are up in arms. It's all about that Mrs. Cole and her foul accusations.
What do you want me to do?
Nothing must jeopardize the anatomy bill.
Yes, but what precisely do you want me to do?
We can't make any more deliveries.
What are anatomy schools supposed to do for
We
subjects?
can't risk exposure. It's too dangerous.
In my anatomical museum, it's almost complete. I'm just supposed to stop work on that? It's my life's crowning achievement.
Be reasonable, Cyrus! We're all in great danger! We can't risk everything we've worked for now! We're too close to victory!
Go on, get out of here. I'll see you in the morning.
I won't waste any more of your time.
Go out the front, will you?
Why?
Because I asked you to.
We do understand each other.
We do?
Scrub's off there.
Have you got her?
I've got her. Meek as a kitten. She says she's ashamed of herself.
Get her in here. I wish to speak with her.
Here she is, Doctor. The naughty girl.
We haven't had the pleasure of your company for some time, Jin Hester.
Go on. Doctor won't bite you.
I ain't been feeling too good. Had to visit the ocean. Fresh air and quiet. I like the sound of gulls.
Is that why we haven't seen you for some time?
I'm better now.
Perhaps I should examine you. Otherwise, you might be hearing the sounds of angels' wings. Won't you step inside?
I didn't tell that young gentleman doctor nothing.
Who said you did?
You're thinking it. I can tell by the way you're looking at me.
Sit.
Yes, sir.
If Dr. Daniels told anyone what he learned from you, I could lose my license. And you and Scrubs? Well, you and Scrubs would find yourself in a prison workyard waiting for the hangman.
Doctor said I could strangle you if I wanted.
Shut your mouth. You're wicked.
Don't talk to me like that, you old witch.
Ow.
It must never happen again!
I tell you, I didn't tell him a thing. He paid for a few glasses and I sent him on his way. He was a crafty wolf. Not crafty enough for Jen Hester, though. I know how to throw them off the scent.
Then I wonder where he got this gold watch.
Let me see that. You did tell him. Probably so drunk you don't even remember.
You wouldn't want to find yourself in a specimen jar, would you, Jen Hester? Floating around in a murky sea of medicinal alcohol?
No, sir.
Then I suggest you behave yourself in the future. Curb your tongue.
Yes, sir. You're angry with Jen Hester. I'm a stupid old cow, that's what I am.
You won't hear no argument from me. I'll teach you to behave.
Leave me alone.
Must be careful from now on. No deliveries for some time.
Eh?
You heard me. However, there is an exception. My anatomical museum is almost complete. And I would do nothing to delay the process. Need a body. Excellent condition. Do as I said days ago. Go into the country.
It'll take time.
When do you want it?
As soon as possible. But we must be careful. The police, they're just too close for easy sleep.
I'll do what I can. It won't be easy.
Scrubs is a crate in there. Fetch it, but don't drop it. It'll accompany me to the morgue.
When have I ever dropped a grave?
I wish I could make it up to you, sir.
So do I. But I live in the world of the possible.
You've been good to me.
Too good.
I don't deserve your friendship.
You don't have my friendship.
Don't know what happens to me sometimes.
Oh, it's for the best.
I go out of my head.
That's to be expected from one who is defective.
Is that what I am, sir?
Unquestionably.
Can you give me anything for it?
Only a small bit of advice. Liquor aggravates your condition. Don't drink.
I've had my last drop.
I'm on my way.
You.
Come along, Scrubs. There's another crate in the hallway.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Here's to you, dear.
I want to see Edward Daniels.
You mean the doctor? The young one with the sweet talk and charm? He ain't here.
Edward?
Dr. Norton. Hey, I know you. You work at the Beef and Rye.
Not anymore, I don't. They checked me out. I've got no place to go, no money, nothing. I've been sleeping in doorways. I'm going to find him, and he won't get away with this. How do I know you're telling the truth?
Don't be a fool. You're in the house of a gentleman and his family. You make any trouble for Dr. Norton, and you'll find yourself in a stew.
A stew or a river, what difference does it make?
You're sour on life.
What are you doing here?
Friend of mine works in this house. Fine gent. Name of Scrubs.
I know Scrubs. He's no one's friend. No fine gentleman either. I'm tired. I'm hungry.
You got friends, ain't you? They'll help.
No one's your friend when you need help.
How true. No relatives in Philadelphia?
No relatives anywhere.
How sad. Dr. Norton will be gone for some time. You've had a wasted trip. Tisk tisk.
He promised to marry me.
Dr. Norton?
Edward. I thought he was a prince.
They're all just toads, dear. Drink up.
I've got to find him. He's got to help me. Dr. Norton will know something, won't he?
You can trust a man like Dr. Norton. He's educated. Knows Latin. Cleanest fingernails I've ever seen.
Yes, he is a gentleman.
Diploma and all. I've got a weakness for quality.
I'm so tired.
Why don't you stretch out? Rest.
You don't think the doctor would mind me waiting for him?
No, look at the shape you're in. All worn out. Men aren't worth it.
I think I could sleep forever.
I'll help. Shut your eyes. Do your world's good. Things will look better after a nap.
Edward was just so kind. At first, he was always so gentle and considerate.
We're nothing but their playthings.
Edward.
Sleep.
Sleep.
Don't struggle! Don't fight! to me, dear. If there's one thing I know about, it's dressing a lady's hair. I used to be a hair maid, you know. You must take better care of your hair, pretty kitty. But don't you worry none. Jim Hester's here. I know what I'm doing. Fine and strong hair you got, pretty kitty. Fine and strong. Who's there?
What are you doing in there? Open up!
Who's there?
Open this door, you old witch. It's me, Scrubs.
Oh, it's you, Scrubs. Good. Good.
You've been here since we left?
I've been working.
Working? Drinking? Doctor's gonna yell when he sees you've been into his brandy.
Don't tell him.
I won't have to. He'll see the empty bottle.
Shows how much you know. I done the doctor a big favor.
Eh?
Half goes to you, and you didn't have to lift a finger.
What are you talking about?
The circus.
Circus?
You heard the doctor said his circus was almost complete.
He didn't say circus, you fool. He said museum. His anatomical museum is almost complete.
It will be once he sees what I brought him.
What have you been up to?
The countryside is too far away. Dr. Norton said he wanted a body in good condition, as soon as possible, right?
What have you done?
$20 at least, maybe more.
Where'd you get it? You have no sense for using anything but the shovel. Even then I have to tell you how to do it.
You're hurting me.
I ain't even started yet.
What's this?
She was into your brandy, sir. Didn't leave a drop. She's a living, breathing sponge.
I see our conversation meant nothing to you, Jim Hester.
You'll be proud of me, sir. I done it. Your circus is complete.
Explain.
You said you wanted it as soon as possible.
It?
Pay her no mind, doctor. She's been drinking.
No danger like there was in night crawling. All neat and tidy. Crawled up to the door like a straight out and scratch.
She's loony.
Shut up, you're jealous. Nothing to worry about, sir. No friends, no home, no relatives. Nobody even knows she came here.
Where?
Where else, doctor? I laid her out on your table. If I didn't know better, I'd swear she was sleeping. That's it. Like some sleeping princess in a children's book. Notice her hair? I dressed it myself. $20 at least. $20.
Now you've done it.
You stupid woman! That's Kate from the beef and ride! She's been in this house before!
I done her a favor. She was unhappy.
So am I, thanks to you.
Stupid! Useless!
I done you a favor too, sir. You said you wanted a body.
He didn't mean for you to murder one.
What difference does it make? A corpse is a corpse, ain't it?
All my work, my dreams, my plans, all in jeopardy because of you!
Is this all the thanks I get?
Oh, I'll give you thanks!
Doctor, sir, please, I didn't mean no harm.
No harm, you ignorant parasite!
I'll do it again.
I can assure you of that!
Leave her to me, doctor. She won't make more trouble. Good is done.
Who is it?
It's Marilyn, Father.
What is it?
He'd like a few words from you, Father.
Who?
Detective Harris.
Just, tell him I'll see him in the parlor.
No need, doctor. Your work shall do just fine. I was by here earlier. Your maid, what's her name? Linda.
Oh.
Oh, close. There was a man first name. Anyway, she's here at the morgue.
An autopsy was being performed.
Some poor creature they found in the street.
What did the autopsy reveal?
Not as interesting as we'd hoped. A small knife wound to the back, a punctured lung. If she was found earlier, she still might be alive.
Streets can be cruel.
There's no reason they should be. Society doesn't have to live by the law of the jungle.
I'm surprised you went to the morgue, Miss Norton. Such an odd place for such a young lady.
Not in my opinion.
I wouldn't be surprised to find one on the police force one day.
I hope that will come to pass.
Perhaps.
To what do we owe the honor, Detective Harrison?
Pickles gallstones. They're pickled.
You may have the jar if you wish. Consider it a gift. The gallstones are preserved in alcohol. They'll last longer than you will.
Thanks, but no thanks. The only thing I like in the jar is grape preserve.
Is it about Mrs. Culp?
No, a man called Scrubs.
Our Scrubs?
Leonard Scrubs
It doesn't work for you, I believe.
does odd jobs. Has a strong stomach. It's hard to find an orderly to participate in surgery or dissection.
We have him on file. Petty crook. Was accused a few years back for...
For what?
I think we better talk alone.
Say what you wish, Marilyn is no child.
Great robbery.
Back to that, I see.
He wouldn't happen to be on the premises, would he?
No.
He's friendly with a woman by the name of Jen Hester.
Didn't know Scrubs had many friends. You must be talking about the rag picker.
Does Jen Hester pick rags as well?
As well as what?
Caught her in here once or twice. She's harmless. Just came to borrow a few pennies. But I told Scrubs I won't allow it.
She has money. Sometimes. Considerable amounts for a rag picker, I might add. There's rumor to believe she's a night crawler.
Rumors. Always rumors.
I see what you're driving at.
Well, I don't.
Scrubs once suspected grave robber. Jen has the rumor to be in the trade. One works for me and the other one frequently visits. Ergo, Dr. Norton is up to no good. He's a villain. He's a monster. He's a rogue.
I don't want any trouble.
What do you mean, trouble?
Detective Harrison, in his gentle but professional way, is telling me of his knowledge of my trafficking in cadavers.
I must think of the consequences. I must think of the city's peace and quiet. A man of your reputation, the scandal, it wouldn't do Philadelphia any good. I've seen howling mobs torch medical buildings, Dr. Norton. Arson is never a pretty thing. I don't want any bloodshed.
What do you suggest I do?
A holiday.
A holiday?
A long, long holiday.
I see.
Someplace where it's warm, quiet, away from winter. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? South America, maybe?
I'll give the matter some consideration.
Please do.
Is that all?
That is all. Good evening. I'll go out the back way your aunt would prefer it. Oh, one more thing though.
Yes?
Anatomical Museum.
Oh, I'm afraid that's not going to be finished for quite some time.
No, I mean, I'd like to see it.
What better time than right now?
It's very kind of you.
Right this way.
Oh, I'm sorry I can't though. I have a few other matters to attend to. Maybe another time?
Whatever you say.
Miss Norton.
A long, long holiday?
Detective Harrison has given me a chance to save my reputation.
The law is idiotic.
So many things are. Listen to me, Marilyn. You're my daughter. Someone to be hard and cold. I'm going to need you to keep a head on your shoulders.
What is it?
Detective Harrison is no fool. He knows how to play a game of nerves. He'll be back.
And why should he?
He'll get Scrubs or Jen Hester to talk.
He already knows they're night crawlers.
He doesn't know about Kitty yet.
Kitty?
While we were out, Jen Hester decided to take it upon herself to make a delivery. Told her my work in the museum required one.
She robbed another grave?
She murdered.
Murdered?
The body's in there on the dissecting table.
I've seen her before. Once with Edward. What are we gonna do?
We?
We could hide the body.
It's too late for that. Besides, that poor girl is dead because of me.
Because of Jen Hester.
Perhaps I've been too prideful. Tempting the fates once too often can be lethal. No, my course of action is very clear. I'll bring some victory out of this momentary defeat. We must.
What you must do is leave the city. Now!
I'll use the murder as a banner. Use publicity to our advantage. I'll speak out in court against official ignorance. I'll make such a plea for the anatomy bill that reform must follow.
What kind of a victory is that? You'll lose everything.
I may lose everything. But surgery will win. Medicine will conquer. That's all that matters.
I won't let you do this. You can escape.
It's too late for that. Besides, I have no intention of running from this. I have a lot of thinking to do. Please, just let me go. Just leave me alone.
You won't do anything until we talk again?
I can assure you that. Science is a stern master.
stop by, pay your respects.
It's the least I could do. I wanted to attend the funeral this afternoon, but I thought it'd be better to wait. I didn't want to intrude.
Just can't get it out of my head, you know?
What's that?
Quote from John Donne.
I'm a doctor.
Poet. Grave's a fine and quiet place, but none, I think, do there embrace.
Nice. I like poems with a bit more cheer, though. And let us toast John Barleycorn and each man a glass in hand, and may his great prosperity never fail in old Scotland. That one always makes me laugh. Sorry.
Suppose all this trouble will halt the inevitable, Bill.
Two schools of thought on that. Some say yes.
Some say no. You realize that Cyrus and men of his types will have to deal with these pirates.
Yes, yes. I should have made a move on Scrubs. If only I had
I've
just...
asked Uncle to prepare tea, or would you gentlemen prefer something stronger?
No, thank you. I fear no overstatement welcome anyways.
I simply can't get used to this house without my brother. No matter where I am, I keep looking up, expecting him to walk into the room.
Sit down, Constance. You're worn out. So what of Mrs. Cole?
Oh, I'm afraid she'll be spending the rest of her days behind thick walls, howling at the mad.
Why wasn't she stopped? The police should have known she was dangerous.
Once we find Scrubs, this whole matter can be put to an end.
Now, how can we be so sure it was Scrubs who murdered that kitty?
With the testimony of Jen Hester.
Why haven't you arrested her? She was Scrub's accomplice, was she not?
We know where to find her when we need her.
Still here, Detective?
Yes, but I should be on my way soon. Once again, my deepest sympathy with your family.
Shall I put anything else on the tray, Miss Norton? Muffins? Honey cake?
Now, Opal.
I'm sorry, I can't help it. I didn't cry at the funeral, but I can't help myself. When people die, I get upset.
Forget about the train, go along to bed.
He said I was playing, but I knew he didn't mean it.
Father was only teasing you. Now do as I say, off to bed.
Yes, miss.
She's taking it hard.
I don't understand why you want to work on all this tonight.
Keeping busy helps. I want to go through everything he wrote.
I'll be on my way out. I'll go out the back.
I don't see that it matters now. Use the front door, Detective.
Thank you. Did she hear anything else on Scrubs?
I'll be in touch at once.
Good night.
Poor fellow. He feels somehow responsible.
Was watching Elva by the graveside this morning. She held up well. We all did.
Cyrus would have been pleased. He hated any show of emotion.
Yeah, well. Is there anything I can do, Constance? You let me know. You too, Marilyn.
I'll show you out.
Don't bother. Take care of the ladies, William.
I intend to.
I think you should go to bed.
What good would it do? I couldn't sleep.
Try.
Besides, I have a carriage coming for my trunk.
Your trunk.
Where are you going?
To a hotel. I know it's not altogether proper, but I'll manage.
You're not making much sense.
I will not spend another night in this house under this roof.
We're all on edge, but we have to hold on.
Cyrus did a most unkind thing. Never could understand why he'd ask me to give parties and have my foolish friends here. He could barely tolerate them. I gave him a kind of camouflage. That's why he invited me to stay here and manage the house. How could anyone suspect evil was being done in there? Why, Miss Constance Norton was the very model of respectable matron. Silly, but respectable. With her in that house, everything would have to be proper.
You misjudged Dr. Norton.
No, William, I do not.
That's not why my father asked you to come here. I know my father.
And I know my brother. He's waiting in my room.
Don't be foolish, Aunt. My father loved and respected you. You have no right to think that.
Don't pay her any attention. She's out of her head with grief. She'll be back.
I'm not so sure.
I think it'd be wise if you got away from the house for a few days.
I'm not soft.
Wish you weren't so proud of that. When you're a doctor's wife, you'll have other things to think about.
When you're a doctor's husband, you'll have other things to think about, too.
You don't mean that you intend to go on with your studies, do you?
Father would have wished it.
But do you?
Yes.
Why bother? I'll take care of you.
I have no wish to be taken care of.
Still think it's unwise that you consider continuing, especially after what's happened.
You mean Kitty.
No, I mean this whole rotten business with the night crawlers. If you had known what your father was dealing into, I know your attitude would be different.
I did know.
You knew about the dissection subjects? One's from the graves and not the gallows?
I'm not a fool. Neither are you. William, don't tell me you're surprised because a surgeon's been forced into a criminal act. What about our discussions, your contempt for idiotic conventions?
Not all conventions are idiotic.
I see your rebellion has its limits.
It was wrong of your father to deal with men like Scrubs, but I can see his purpose. What I can't understand is why he wanted his daughter to be involved. I can't forgive him for that.
Would you be so uneasy if I were my father's son and not his daughter?
It's an entirely different thing.
No, it's not.
Give it up, Marilyn.
You're a hypocrite. You surprise me.
I'm not a hypocrite. Many men wouldn't marry you after what's happened. I would. Doesn't that prove my devotion?
Do you expect me to be grateful?
I expect you to be realistic.
I think you'd better go, William.
Talk sense.
You better go.
No! You think you can just send me away because you don't agree with my views? Marilyn. We'll talk again in the morning.
We have nothing to say.
We'll see. Good night, Marilyn.
Goodbye.
Jen Hester, Frontier shut and all clear.
Get on with it.
Only a moment.
No one saw you?
I know my job. It's a damn night out there, but the rain makes for good cover.
What condition?
Fair to middling, I'd say.
Let's have a look.
Fair enough.
Scrubs.
Miserable dog. Tried to slit my throat. All the time me thinking he was my friend. I fixed him. A Mickey on his skull.
Mickey?
A red brick. Didn't know what hit him. Men are such puny things.
He'll help with the museum's completion.
You ain't going to deduct for the damage?
No.
Business as usual, Dr. Norton?
As usual, Jen Hester.
Pleasure working for you, dear.
In here.
Director, Mrs. H, we built her a collage signed by the cast. And we pitched it and got her a $40 gift certificate to the movie theater.
Thank you, folks. I also wanted to thank Tori Hughes.
she's not here tonight. She is our senior student who took on the costumes for her senior project, and I think she did a wonderful job, so let's give her a hand for her. And of course, Brittany, come on up here, Brittany Peterson, please, come on. Backstage, this is our assistant director, and she, did the lights and the sound, and she worked with our crazy cast, and she did a wonderful job, so let's give her a hand. She did a wonderful job. She was our prop coordinator, and we had a lot of crazy props to gather up, and she made a list for us, and she actually had her father make some things for us, so he did a great job, and she did a fabulous job. And of course, I'd like to thank our parents who helped, who worked concessions or tickets or sat in the green room all those long hours, and so thank you so much. We couldn't have done it without you guys. Yes, he is my loved one, but he's also our camera guy. He's taken many, many photos, and he's working the camera, and so we'll have I'm almost done. Okay. And finally, I'd like to thank our audience, because you guys have been wonderful supporters of Foothill High School, and we continue on the magic, and we want to thank you for being just great supporters, so thanks again.